Welcome back to a brand new Gemming to Max video, guys. My name is Chief Pat, and today we're going to continue maxing out some of our cards, seeing as most of our commons and rares are both filled out. So you guys know the deal by now. We're going to open up a couple of chests, we're going to do a couple of upgrades, and once again, we will show a battle or two towards the end. But first of all, let's get going with these chests. So like I said, most of my commons and rares are completely maxed out. I do have the upgrades to get done, but you're noticing that I'm just overflowing on most of those cards. Also, for some reason, I'm getting a ridiculous amount of free spells. I have 275 out of 300, and when you take a look at something like my Prince, I have only like 125. So I don't know what the disparity is there, but anyways, gonna keep opening up these chests. Ice Wizard, that's gonna be another one going towards level 4, and keep pulling out some small loans, and we might be able to get there soon. Okay, so opening up another chest, looks like this one's full of different types of epics. That is insane. That was 5 different types of epics inside of this chest, and we're just going to keep plowing through them. Again, we are going to get gold from this every single time we get one of the cards that we already have. So if we're full on commons, if we're full on rares, every single time we do that, not only are we going to get another Ice Wizard right there, we're going to get gold. So that's why I'm not going to spend any money or gems to get gold. I know a lot of people have been saying that, hey Pat, just use your gems in the video to max out your cards. I'm going to be maxed out on gold anyways because of all these extra cards that I'm getting. So I think it's a better idea and a more efficient strategy to just keep getting these cards and slowly max them out throughout the course of a couple episodes. Of course, when you talk about efficiency, when you're spending thousands of dollars on a game, it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to shut up there and let's open up some of our final chests. So a couple of Worthless Mortars, Knights. If I could give you guys these cards, I would. I promise. I don't need them. 23 Giant Skeletons, and that's going to wrap it up for our final chest, and we can do some upgrades right now. Okay, so with 360,000 gold, using my epic math skills, that's going to give us 7 upgrades, seeing as they cost 50,000 each. And let's take a look and see if we can upgrade some valuable cards. So Wizard's been making a little bit of a comeback now that the lightning spell usage has calmed down. Let's go ahead and grab him. Also taking a look at what we want to upgrade. Minions are pretty versatile. Definitely don't mind having those around. I think probably the Giant would be a good one because most people are using the Knight, Dark Knight, or Dark Prince combo. I keep saying Dark Knight like Batman, and the Giant is a pretty good way to counter that. Mini P.E.K.K.A is a great counter to that. Golem, as well as a couple of other cards. Inferno Tower is pretty fun. Let's see if we can use that inside of a couple of decks. Zap for that 1-second stun has been pretty effective from what I've seen. And finally, you can't do upgrades without upgrading a troll. And let's go ahead and use yay old 3 Musketeers, and maybe we can whip them out inside of a battle. So with 60,000 XP out of 80,000, it seems like I'm close to level 12, but honestly, we have to upgrade a couple of epics in order to hit level 12. It won't give us level 12 with only upgrading those commons and rares, so we still have ways to go. And let's go ahead and get into a match against Smurf, trying out a new deck. Now, normally I don't use goblins, I use spear goblins, but I found a pretty nifty combination that I'll show you guys inside of this battle. So starting off, he is going to play his Dark Prince. I'm going to play a Princess. Could either have played the Bomb Tower or the Princess, but I feel like the Princess is a better value. Looks like we're going to be able to take care of that Dark Prince. I keep saying Dark Knight. It's not Batman. Pretty easily. And now that we've taken out that Prince, our dragon will float over the water, and even though it's not maxed out like his, we still should be able to get a decent amount of damage on that Princess, as well as start taking some shots at that tower. So again, he does have level 8 epics, which makes for a little bit of a disadvantage to where I have to play mostly perfect, or at least extremely well, but so far so good, and we've gotten out to a pretty nice little advantage, getting 500 damage on that first tower. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play the Dark Prince right there. We got it right that time. Looks like he's going to have a dragon going down there. I'm going to go for a counter push, but he does have his Dark Prince waiting. He knew that I was going to go for a cheese combination, and because of that, his dragon is going to start doing damage to my tower, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to take out that push on the left-hand side. So arrows on my Princess mean a baby dragon will clean up these barbarians, and I'm going to show you guys a great combination right now. So be very quiet, as soon as that dragon gets tower aggro, use goblins or something like a goblin barrel to go ahead and, while the tower is distracted, do an insane amount of damage on that tower. Look at it go. It's going to go ahead and take that tower out. Because the fact that that dragon was tanking the tower, the goblins snuck in, and they ended up doing over 2,500 damage to get us a complete tower, and that's enough to win the game pretty much. So you guys can do that with a bunch of combinations. You can do that with the skeleton or giant skeleton. You can do that with a giant. You can do that with even something like a knight. Use a smaller card, and then use something like the goblin barrel over the top if you don't want to use goblins. It's pretty tricky to get goblins to the tower, but if you can use something like a dragon, a knight, or a giant to tank, and then throw a goblin barrel over the top when you know that they don't have their arrows, it's extremely effective, and in that case, it ended up getting me that tower. You'll see a lot of players do it in the top ranks with the giant skeleton and the minion horde. They'll use a goblin barrel onto one of the towers, their opponent will use arrows, and then they'll use a giant skeleton and a minion horde, or a goblin barrel, or a minion horde, and they're going to be in a lot of trouble. You can mix and match minion horde and goblin barrel. Just make sure you get rid of their arrows first, and then go for that big push to where it's hard for them to counter it, unless they have fireball or another direct damage card, which most of the time they don't have. But in this case, it worked out really well. At this point, we're just playing defense with 20 seconds left. Pretty easy to play defense with this deck, having this Dark Prince as well as the Bomb Tower, the tankiest defense in the game, which is really good against those barbarians. And we were able to pull out a victory and a very nicely well-played game. So really just one push won me that game. I was able to play defense from there. I really wasn't able to do too much to the other tower due to the fact that I didn't have to, as well as he did have more upgraded cards than me, especially with me running so many epics inside of my deck. Puts me at a little bit of a disadvantage, but a very nice win and another competitive game against Smurf, which we seem to happen or have more often than not. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you guys learned a little trick. Make sure your tank has aggro. Try to use something small like goblins, or throw a goblin barrel over the top when you know that they don't have arrows. And you could have success just like what happened inside of this replay. And yeah, that is going to wrap it up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.